From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
When people are on the campaign trail and then when they sit in the chairs, it's like, well, I really didn't feel that way. I'm like, oh, okay. It's just about what you can do to get elected. I see.
After a compromising Zoom video appears online, the Bozeman city manager is in hot water. Just ahead, learn what the city commission is saying about the comments.
And I'll be giving you a sneak peek at the Intermountain Opera's performance of Carousel.
Alrighty, it is 6:31 on this Thursday edition of Montana This Morning. Jay McDonald and Matt L. Pullen.
January's in the books. We're now into February.
We're here, people, and I'm so excited. I'm ready for February.
Tomorrow's Groundhog Day.
It is. Yep. It is. Yeah, the second.
Yeah.
Well, let's see its shadow. That's the big
That's
question.
the question. Well, and the other question from my standpoint, and I always have the standard answer, there are still 6 more weeks of winter. I look at the calendar every year.
Or
it hasn't
spring.
changed.
It kind of feels like spring right now.
That's right. It does. And we've got another day or two before things start to shift for us. Temperatures this morning into the 20s. Still need those coats early on, especially out toward West Yellowstone. 15 degrees this morning. We will begin to see the clouds roll in. That should be an indication to most of us that things are slowly changing. And by changing, we're going from 50s down into the 30s for daytime highs as we get into the weekend. That does include some snow. Skiers rejoice. We'll talk more about that, of course, in just a little bit.
All right. Thank you very much, Matt. Now, our top story this half hour, Bozeman's city manager is coming under fire after a video leak. As MTN's Edgar Cedillo shows us, Jeff Mihalik is seen bad-mouthing the new mayor and the city of Bozeman.
Thank you, Jen.
This video that surfaced on Tuesday night began as what appears to be a department head meeting. The police chief, assistant city manager, and others were on the call. When the call ends, 2 people stay. Anna Bentley, the community development director, and city manager Jeff Mihalik, who takes a moment to talk about the newly sworn-in mayor, Terry Cunningham, who apparently asked for information regarding a previous meeting.
John sends me a summary, and I said, is this good enough, Terry? And it's like, dude, you're supposed to be taking the notes. You are. Anyway, thank you for listening.
Then Mihalik expresses frustration that the mayor is communicating with constituents who have complaints.
I just wish Terry would just hand them off, because he does hand them off, but I just wish he wouldn't even talk to them at all.
Then the conversation, which lasts about 18 minutes, then shifts to a reporter asking about the city's bear campaign.
I wish he could through his head. You don't have to take, because we have one person in the community now, classic shit they'll never get over, that doesn't think we're doing enough, even though the campaign's working.
Mihalik came to Bozeman in 2020 from Fort Collins, Colorado, where he was the deputy city manager. In this call, he tells Bentley about an opportunity to possibly be the next city manager in Austin, Texas.
But guess what it pays? Just the base salary.
Okay, tell me.
$500,000. If this was, honestly, if this was like fast forwarded a year, I might throw my hat in the ring, just because it's like...
How could you not?
Well, I could get vested here.
Yeah, and then
all I would have to do, Anna, is like just suck it up for 5 years, and on the 5th year, like the day I'm vested, I'd retire.
Near the end of the conversation, Mihalik also takes aim at newly elected Deputy Mayor Joey Morrison and his promise to not approve any luxury condominiums.
I'll be very interested to see how Joey reacts to this, because his campaign folks are out there saying, if Joey's mayor, we'll never approve another, $1 million condo. It's like, well, okay. But when I ask him about that kind of stuff, not that frontal, but when I ask him about it, he doesn't know. I when people are on the campaign trail and then when they sit in the chairs, it's like, well, I really didn't feel that way. I'm like, oh, okay. It's just about what you can do to get elected. I see.
Right now, it's unclear who leaked the video. I spoke with the Instagram page Hipsters of Bozeman, where the video gained the most traction. Creators on the site say, quote, "Rarely do we see such unification amongst our followers when it comes to topics like this." They went on to say, quote, "Based on the comments, it's safe to say that the citizens of Bozeman do not feel that Jeff Mihalik represents them or the city of Bozeman very well. We also reached out to Mayor Terry Cunningham, who says that the city does plan on holding a special city commission meeting to discuss the issue. And the city public information officer issued a statement this afternoon saying, quote, "We take seriously our charge that all of those in city leadership should model our stated values of professionalism and integrity, and anything that detracts from those values is a disservice to the public." In Bozeman, Edgar Cedillo, MTN News.
And we received this statement from Jeff Mihalik. A video has been posted of me having a conversation with a colleague. We both thought that this was a private conversation and never imagined it would be posted anywhere publicly. More importantly, I made some careless comments in a moment of stress and frustration that I deeply regret. I apologize to the commission, to city staff, and most importantly, to Bozeman residents for the way I conducted myself. This type of incident will not happen again, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to regain the trust of our community. And an update to a story we first brought you yesterday, an unusual recovery effort for Gallatin County Search and Rescue. The Sheriff's Office received a tip that signs were floating in the Gallatin River west of Four Corners. Rescue crews pulled the signs from the river, and the undersheriff confirmed that these are the missing signs that were reported on Tuesday. 49 street signs were stolen last weekend, many from Dry Creek Road in Belgrade. The majority of the signs have been recovered from the river, and we're told that charges are pending. And the Bozeman Intermountain Opera is presenting Carousel, a lively musical with some dark themes. Haven, Bozeman's local domestic violence shelter, is partnering with the opera to properly address themes of domestic violence in the show. MTN's Heaven Van gives us a sneak peek at this partnership.
The Bozeman Intermountain Opera is partnering with local domestic violence shelter Haven for their performance of Carousel, a lively musical with some dark themes.
Carousel is a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical from the golden age of musicals. It has one of the most beautiful scores that has ever been written.
Susan Miller, General Director of the opera, speaks to the play's themes and need for partnership with Haven.
When we decided to do Carousel, we knew that we would only do it if we had Haven as a partner in order to tell the story responsibly.
It is a musical that has a lot of themes surrounding domestic violence, and I think that they really saw an opportunity to start a community-wide conversation on this issue that Haven works so closely on.
Erica Coyle, Executive Director at Haven, explains how art can serve as a medium for such difficult topics.
There's something about having, whether it's pop culture or art, that can really open new doors to understanding for folks. In the original Carousel, there's a bit of forgiveness that happens and a bit of normalization that happens with domestic violence.
Coyle says that the actors spoke with survivors and advocates about their experiences, and that Haven will even be holding optional talkbacks after every show.
I hope it creates an avenue of conversation for folks who might be going through domestic violence so that they know that it's not something to be swept under the rug.
With professional actors and an entire live orchestra, Miller says,
"It's more than a musical, it's an event."
For more information on the musical and how to get tickets, visit our website. In Bozeman, Heaven Van, MTN News.
All right, we're going to take a short break here in Montana this morning, but when we come back, neighbors helping neighbors. That's the focus of a monthly program taking place over in Billings. We have that plus all of your top headlines when we come back.